G'day guys, and welcome to another 2020 NRL season review. This time we're going to be talking about the St. George Illawarra Dragons, also known as the beginning of the end for Corey Norman. In the first 2 weeks of the NRL season, they led at half-time to the West Tigers and both the Penrith Panthers, both coming away losses in that one. 10-point loss to the West Tigers, 4-point loss to the Panthers. Very entertaining game. Absolutely embarrassed with a great completion rate by the New Zealand Warriors, 18-0 at the Central Coast, and then thumped by the Bulldogs, 22 points to 2, where I think that went into that game as favourites. They finally got back to winning feeling at Campbelltown Stadium against their rival, the Cronulla Sharks. It took until the reboot of the season for the Dragons to actually get a win in round 5, but we saw some really promising signs from Cameron McInnes in this game, and the Dragons were just way too good for the Sharks. They held on to the halftime lead of 18-10, and they got their first dub of the season at Campbelltown against a rival. That kicked off their season, and they kept it going when they beat the Titans 20 points to 8. Quite a boring game of football, this one, but they kept the halftime lead, brought the Titans back into it, but they held on, so back-to-back wins for the Dragons in round 5 and 6. In round 9, what some would argue is one of the biggest upsets of the season, the Dragons absolutely fired up against the Seagulls at home, 34 points to 4. They were just way too good, classy, powerful, great performance. Could they keep it up? Well, against the Bulldogs, it looked like all hope was gone, but somehow the Dragons absolutely did snatch the W. 28 points to 22. The Bulldogs led 20 points to 10 at halftime in this one. Could they make it 3 in a row against the Sharks? Arguably they should have. They lost 28 to 24. I think this is a very controversial match, but I won't get into that. Very, very close, entertaining game of footy, but unfortunately for the Dragons, they couldn't make it 3 in a row, so they took the L in round 11. In round 12, they did take another L in a close game against the Rabbitohs, and then a tough game against the Roosters, where I think they competed really well. I think this was the game where Victor Radley was out as well. In one of the worst performances from the Eels all season, half-time 10-6, but I'm happy with this to an extent. This photo is just priceless. Cameron McInnes thanking Paul McGregor for all he's done in Paul McGregor's final game as a coach. I think the Dragons were like $5 to win this game, but they just came together. Massive game from Jacob Host, I remember. Michaeli Ravalawa with the 2 tries. Clint Gutherson and Kane Evans with 1. But the Dragons were just too good for us. 14 points to 12. You know what? Corey Norman had a good game here. The whole Dragons side should be really proud of this game. I think it sums up their year and the fact that they can be a good side against those top teams. As I said, personally, Parramatta just didn't turn up, but they were considered as a top 4 team, so the Dragons were able to beat a very classy team. So this image is brilliant. The Dragons were just able to hold on to a win against the Broncos, 28-24. Fast finishing Broncos side there, but Dragons coming away very lucky. They had a very close loss to the Titans, who were finding a lot of form towards this point of the season, 14 points to 10 at the Dragons' home. And then a golden point shock loss to the Cowboys, which brought them back down to earth. I think it was definitely destroyed their confidence as they lost to the Raiders the following week, 37 points to 8. We got to see one of the most promising rookies score the only 2 tries for the Dragons, and I'm really looking forward to the future of Cody Ramsey at the club. Then they had the Storm, where they came away 30 points to 22. Storm rested most of their stars in this game. However, Tyson Frizzell in his final game for the Dragons scored a try, and they looked good for the most part, but as I said, understrength side. So in 2021, where to for the Dragons? Well, they welcome new coach Anthony Griffin. I don't expect much, but at the same time, and I'm giving away a bit of a spoiler here for my upcoming videos, but I think Cameron McInnes is a player to watch. I honestly think that Cameron McInnes will be in the top 10 for the Dally M. I think he's going to have an outstanding season. We saw a lot from him. They gained Daniel Alvaro. They gained Jack Bird. Cade Ellis and Possa for Masali. There's a lot of losses though. They lose Jason Saab to Manly. Tyson Frizzell is a huge loss. Jacob Host was in some really promising form. And you also lose Ewan Aitken to the Warriors, as well as Corbin Sims. So it's going to be interesting. They have re-signed Adam Clune for 2 years. He's been fantastic for them throughout the year. They've got a 3-year deal with Josh Kerr, who's also been good. Zach Lomax, big contract to 2025, but I can't get a read on him. I still haven't decided. I don't think I have them for the wooden spoon, which I think a lot of people will have. Jaden Sullivan looked promising in the halves, but I just don't know. So can these two turn it around for the Dragons in 2021? Well, I think they have a really good draw. Now, I don't think it's an easy draw, but I think it's a really good balanced draw. You've got the Broncos once, the Eels once. So Eel, Panthers, Storm, 3 teams that we expect to make the top 8, that they play once. But then they also play the Raiders, the Rabbitohs, and the Roosters twice. So they've got 3 teams that they play once and 3 teams that they play twice from the top 8. I think it's a really good balance. I think that it's going to be not a long season, but maybe towards that bottom, but we'll wait and see for the Dragons. So that is going to do it for today's video, which is the St. George Illawarra Dragons season review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know where you think the Dragons will finish in the 2021 season. Will they be back to final? Will Frizzell be a massive, massive loss as he is off to Newcastle Knights? They've got a lot of losses, and I think they've still got a lot of recruiting to do. Maybe they're going to trust in their youth. We've seen Jaden Sullivan. We've seen Adam Clune. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with this side. Make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.